This is BarCode, a cocktail-powered podcast that dives deep into the personalities, criminals, and heroes that have come to define security across the globe. Please join our host, Chris Glandon, for another wild foray into the incredible world of humans and how they intertwine with today's modern technology. We hope you enjoy today's episode.
Four, three, two, one.
Activate.
Welcome to BarCode. I'm your host, Chris Glandon, and today we're joined by Yuriy Tsibere, product manager at ThreatLocker. Yuriy is known for turning complex product strategies into streamlined, secure, and user-friendly solutions. To kick things off, would you mind just sharing a little bit about your background and what ultimately led you into cybersecurity and the product management field?
It's a pretty interesting journey to be here in cybersecurity, but all of that started from my general curiosity for technologies. It was not very easy at that time when I was growing up in Ukraine in city of Cherkasy, but nevertheless, I got my first PC. It was a clone of ZX Spectrum. It was around 10, 11 years, I guess. And I tried to connect it to a tape recorder to get games run at first, but also there was a basic language on that ZX Spectrum. So I tried to do some programming pretty early for me. Then I attended Lyceum with the mathematical and physical science major lessons. It was funny because my parents wanted me to be a doctor because they were, but no, I attended the best Ukrainian technical university. It was Kiev Polytechnic University Institute.
Nice.
So there I studied IT and telecommunication. As well, I have management education. So at that point, my first job was to be a system administrator for not very large company, but the essentials were there, how to manage IT infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and after that, I worked at the AT&T of Ukraine. It's called UMC, and became a interconnect billing specialist. There were my first steps in cybersecurity because you see, we proceeded huge amount of data, and it's very personal data. So I learned about how to secure data from even employees. You need to anonymize that data or impersonalize. So at that point, we had some access to Oracle database to have custom reports. And you needed to have not only the network access, but we had physical devices which gave us access to the data. So it was pretty intense. After that, fast forward, switched my career in IT mainly. So I became a QA in IT e-commerce startup. So because of the architecture of that company, it was very interesting to test different things and different products inside that company. At some point, I was very deep inside all the products which were synchronized there. So I became a product manager because my so-called superpower were to explain business needs to a team, to manage IT teams so they can develop what's needed, not only what they want.
Yeah. So let's zone in real quick on the product management piece. And knowing that when you're developing complex security solutions, it involves multiple specialized teams. So from your experience in product management, what have you found to really work when it comes to aligning departments like architecture, like development, like QA, level set so everyone sort of moves in the same direction?
I would say proper communication is the key here.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to introduce features or bugs or even visions to the development team so they can understand why they are doing that. And after they realized why they are doing that, they can propose better solutions for that from architecture perspective or from just a backend or front-end developer, how to develop a proper UI for that feature. You need to listen to them and to hear them. More likely, they propose the better way because you can create anything in your head, but there are some limitations on different languages and platforms and all of that. So yeah, proper communications with every part of our company, like you said, development team, QA, architecture,
Mm-hmm.
and be open to give that freedom to propose better solution.
Yeah. And ideally, that's the way we want to see it happen. But realistically, a lot of
Yes.
times there are conflicts or there are, issues that happen during the functional project. So you could have conflicting priorities. You could have requirements that change throughout the life cycle of the project. Like you said earlier, communication. If there is communication, that could cause issues as well. So looking back at your experience, what have been some of the toughest collaboration challenges that you have personally faced, and what would you say you did to overcome that?
So I have an example of such challenge. At one point, there was a request for a feature. It was like very time intense feature and involved mainly all of our departments. It was a feature like a Face ID for payment, but at that point it was not so widespread like nowadays. It was, I don't know, 5 or 7 years ago.
Mm,
So we needed to postpone everything what were in current development process to synchronize different departments on what we will do to meet the deadline. So we needed to collect a meeting for accounting, payment system, backend developers, logistic departments, and so on. And there I presented the description of what we need to accomplish. And then everyone from those departments proposed their ways of doing that.
hmm
So you need to get that feedback from everyone and decide how to deliver MVP. And because we had a deadline and it was a very tough deadline,
hmm
we needed to decide in which condition it would be. So after we decided what to and why we need this, we started to the development process, of course, and then constantly, like twice a week or thrice a week, we communicated and synchronized on what stage different departments are to align what's needed to be focused on right now, or maybe we need to prioritize something.
hmm
And in the end, we accomplished that, and the feature was presented on some Germany hosted e-commerce meeting.
In terms of deadline, like you mentioned deadline, and with deadline, often there is a rush to completion, right? And I think fast delivery with that often conflicts with maintainability. So I'm just curious, what practices help you keep technical debt under control without sacrificing product quality or slowing down progress?
Yeah, it's a huge problem. But we need to do our best to mitigate that problem. First of all, when you have pretty mature development teams, you need to trust them, of course, to track them, but to trust them as well, to create those types of tickets in a ticketing system to maybe later on to have that technical debt ticketed, so no one will forget that there is something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
As well, while planning development through cycles, agile cycles, you can get some of those tickets to your sprint or your Kanban board. So like one by one, baby steps, you're solving those types of problems.
Let's shift to the other side and talk about the user experience. I think that often the user experience can be difficult to see or even prioritize when security and engineering techniques are really taking over the conversation from the development side. How do you ensure that the human factor sort of stays front and center in the product development chain?
It's an interesting question. First of all, you need to use your product on every platform which you're supporting, like in every tiny bit of report or setting or creating policy. You need to use it by yourself. From that perspective, you will understand where weak points are. Also, there are guidelines for UI, and we are using those to create our UI. So what else? We are creating mockups to guide our developers. What do we need in particular UI?
Mm-hmm.
And then you give them freedom to propose best decisions. And sometimes you need to limit them because, of course, developers want to do the best fancy stuff, but sometimes you need to limit them.
Yeah, you got to test the usability too from the user.
Afterwards, you need to test it by yourself. Is it usable? Because sometimes there are situations when you created mockups, you guided developers, but in the end, it's not getting the value which you intended to put there. So yes, there are situations when you need to do the reverse thing and rethink the UI, but they are not so often. So it's okay.
And I think over time, especially if you're working on the same product, you kind of have a sense of what that user interaction is going to be.
Yeah. You're learning patterns and trying to reproduce them in your new products. So yeah.
So you have experience working with global teams in different time zones and working alongside of different cultures as well. What have you found to be the most effective way for keeping communication clear and maintaining that single line of communications and keeping that strong with teams and individuals that are geographically dispersed?
I think after COVID, everyone thought to work remotely. Now we have those nice tools to do asynchronous communication like Teams or Google Meet for video conferencing, Zoom, Teams as well.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point of time, it's not so hard to work across different time zones, but you need to have some kind of everyday meeting to synchronize with the team, to be on top of what they are doing, what their issues right now, how to unlock them to do their tasks. And also, of course, asynchronous messaging. It's pretty easy right now to do that. But I guess the most valuable part in distributed teams, you need to have courage to believe in them, like to give freedom to work when they want to work. But of course, control what you need. Like, let's say we have several teams across Europe and Asia. So in the morning in Orlando, we are meeting and we are looking for deliverables. They have, if they did their task, it's okay, it's going well. But I had several situations in my career when we need to leave behind some developers which were not very, let's say, reliable.
So you are currently based in Orlando. How long have you been in Orlando?
It's been a year. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome, man. I'm glad that you're there. I'm glad that you enjoy working there. I've been to Zero Trust World. I'm planning on going again in March, so can't wait for that. And hopefully I'll get to meet you in person there. But until then, where can our listeners find out more about ThreatLocker and then also connect with you online?
The first link would be the LinkedIn. So yeah, I have a account. Also about ThreatLocker, also LinkedIn, Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I will leave you links below.
All right, Yuriy. Well, thanks for your time. Hopefully I'll see you soon at Zero Trust World. Until then, take care.
Thank you, Chris. Have a nice day.
You too.